Welcome to the MSJC Internet Authoring Videocast.
In this module, you'll be learning about information resources on the web. In our first session, 4.1, you'll be learning how to find current news, how to get up-to-date weather information, identify employment opportunities, research medical questions, locate apartments for rent and homes for sale, and understand filtering and sorting techniques. When it comes to finding current information on the web, some facts don't change over time, but others do. In Module 3, you learned how to use search engines and search operators to efficiently find information on the web. In many instances, your goal was to find facts about a topic. Often these facts don't change over time. Sometimes, however, you need to seek out the most up-to-date information you can find. Most search engines enable you to look for websites that have been recently updated or modified. Search engines generally will include the more recent listings at the beginning of the list, and you should use a search engine that allows for date range restrictions to find the most current information on a topic. When a web server sends a web page to a browser, or a search engine's web robot, it includes a header that contains information about the page, including the date it was last modified. Search engines then store this information in their databases and use it to create date-filtered results. Most search engine pages usually include a filter option that enables you to look for websites that have been recently updated or modified. Filter options often include last modified, updated, last 24 hours, last week, last month, and last year. Search engine databases store the date of when each web page was last modified. A page gets a new modification date no matter how large or small the change is. As a result, date-filtered search doesn't always provide the results that you want. Another good way to find recent information about companies, people, or events is to look for current news about them. Here's an example of the google.com advanced search page. And you can see there's lots of choices there. You can filter by words, exact phrases, groups of words, excluding words, and number ranges. If you look to the right of each box, you can see that it gives you a good example of the type of information you might type in to get the results you're looking for. And then on the bottom half of the page, you can filter your results by language, region, last update, site or domain, items appearing, safe search, file type, and usage rights. Focusing on last update, you can see that you have the choices of anytime, past 24 hours, past week, past month, or past year. You will also find this on the results page of a Google search. In this example here, you can see you have a drop-down list for any time, and then you can select past hour, past 24 hours, past week, past month, past year, or you can establish a custom range based on date. Search engines' date filtering capabilities are only as good as the information they collect. These databases store the date of when each page was last modified. A page gets a new modification date no matter how large or small the change is. Even if most of the content of the page did not change, the modification date will still be updated. Because of this, a date-filtered search does not always provide the results that you want. Another good way to find recent information about companies, people, or events is to look for current news about them. On the Bing search page, you can click the Anytime drop-down and choose from all, past 24 hours, past week, past month, past year, or again, a custom date range. If you want to search for the top news headlines of the day or the week, there are a large number of news sites on the web. All of the major television news networks have a strong online presence, and most major newspapers have online editions. There are also websites dedicated to the news that have no television or paper-based components. All these websites include search features that allow you to find specific news stories. On the internet and the web, information is now disseminated rapidly and extensively, and it is updated frequently. The quantity of information available is astounding, in part because of the low investment required and in part because of the amount of information sources that are readily available. This means that you, as the reader, need to evaluate the material you are reading. The content for news outlets comes from wire services, newspapers, and broadcast networks, and because of that, you will see a lot of information repeated. A news aggregation website collects and displays content from a variety of online news sources, including wire services, print media, broadcast, outlets, blogs, and the like, and displays it in one place. News aggregation websites might show a bias towards a certain point of view, so keep that in mind when evaluating your news source. A wire service like AP or Reuters is an organization that gathers and distributes news to newspapers, magazines, broadcasters, websites, and other organizations that pay a fee to that wire service. Because many newspapers, magazines, broadcasters, and news aggregation sites obtain their stories from the major wire services and from each other, you often find the same news stories in your search results. Keep in mind that finding the same story published in multiple places doesn't mean that it is accurate or current. No matter what the source, you must also determine whether the content is opinion or fact. The low cost of web publishing also means that anyone with the interest and the financial means can use the web to promote his or her views, commonly in the form of a weblog, also called a blog. A blog is a written commentary on current events, personal experiences, or anything else an individual wants to expound upon. Blogs are usually written by a single person, called the blogger, who wants to express a particular point of view. Some blogs allow readers to add comments or reactions, which may be edited or deleted by the blogger, to the blogger's statements. Although blogs exist on a wide variety of topics, many focus on political, religious, or other issues about which people have strong opinions. The content and direction of a blog are controlled by its owner, who typically authors the main content and decides which comments posted by readers will be included. You will learn more about blogs in Module 5. An alternative form of interactive online writing is the wiki. A wiki is a website that is designed to allow multiple users to contribute content and edit existing content. Some claim that the word wiki is derived from the phrase, "what I know is." However, that is a backronym, as wiki is a Hawaiian word that means fast, and wikis are set up to allow many different users to add and edit content quickly and easily. Most wikis are focused on facts or collaborative work. Wikipedia, the online encyclopedia that you read about in Module 3, is probably the most famous wiki in the world. One of the original Wikipedia founders, Larry Sanger, in 2021 publicly stated that his opinion was that nobody should trust Wikipedia. A wiki that has received a lot of attention in recent years is WikiLeaks, which provides a way for anonymous sources to leak information to its journalists, including secret government information. You must also determine whether the content is opinion or fact. And if you see the same information repeated at several sites, you need to determine the original source of that information. For example, various sites could reprint information from the same source, making it seem that the information is being corroborated by multiple sources, when in actuality it is all from one source. With the wide variety of information available on the web, you must be diligent in evaluating its accuracy. We mentioned Larry Sanger here, the co-founder of Wikipedia, which you see his picture on the screen there, and I provided the link that was referred to if you'd like to view his comments. He is now working on a project called Everypedia, which is an encyclopedia built on blockchain technology. His claims are that it helps verify the facts in an era of misinformation, and that it's unlocking a new class of use cases in the blockchain space. He is also in part working on the Encyclosphere, which is a universal network of encyclopedias, and I've provided the link there for you as well. Finding weather on the web. Weather sites will usually show you the local weather based on the city and the state or the zip code that you search for. You may find that different weather sources will display varying information, like the temperature for the same location. There are many sites devoted to weather forecasts, including local news sites. Websites offer a wealth of information in addition to the weather. Other features and information include live radar, graphs, 10-day forecasts, trip planners, severe weather alerts and reports, satellite views, desktop weather apps, and video forecasts. Many sites let you enter your zip code so that the page opens up with the weather information in your area each time that you go to that page. These sites strive to provide accurate and timely data, yet weather remains a tricky thing to predict with precision. Here is a graphic of weather.com. In this case, looking at the 10-day weather forecast for Seattle, Washington. And on this screen, we're looking at the radar map for Menifee, California. Finding employment on the web. There are many websites dedicated to helping people find employment opportunities. Career Builder is an example of a site that caters to job seekers, where you can sign up for a free account, upload your resume and other employment documents such as cover letters and references, set job search preferences, and conduct job searches. When searching, you can specify a job title, a job category, or a location. You can filter further by specifying annual pay, employment type, distance from a location, and posting date. You can sort filtered results by relevance, date, company, and distance. So filtering displays fewer but more relevant jobs, where sorting displays the results in different orders. Here's an example of careerbuilder.com, where you can search by job title, skills, or military code, and then also have an opportunity to upload or even build online a resume. Using the web for medical information and advice. There are inherent dangers associated with self-diagnosis. However, information when used correctly and intelligently can save lives, ease minds, and provide invaluable assistance in making both curative and preventative choices. Different sites have different focuses. For example, healthfinder.gov focuses on easy-to-find and use health information for users. U.S. National Institute of Health, National Library of Medicine serves as kind of a virtual library, collecting and presenting health-related resources and documents. And the Centers for Disease Control focuses on disease identification, control, and prevention. Finding housing information on the web. There are sites available such as apartment.com, rent.com, and zumper.com to help people find apartments or rental properties. There are also sites available such as realtors.com, zillow.com, trulia.com, redfin.com, and compass.com to help people buy or sell homes or search for other real estate information. You can search, filter, and sort results to create a more effective search. Finding products and services online. Retailers big and small, as well as international, national, and local, have a presence on the web. E-commerce, or electric commerce, refers to the process of developing, marketing, selling, delivering, servicing, and paying for products and services online. Several types of e-commerce exist, including business-to-business, which is called B2B, business-to-consumer, which is B2C, consumer-to-consumer, which is C2C, and software as a service, or SaaS, like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Dropbox, just for example. Some retailers have both a physical location, sometimes referred to as a brick-and-mortar store, and a website. Others, such as Amazon, are almost exclusively online and only have a very limited number of physical stores. Individuals can also sell their products and services on sites such as eBay, Etsy, Nextdoor, Home Advisor, Angie's List, and Craigslist. In our next session, 4.2, you'll be learning about intellectual property laws, understanding copyrights, fair use, public domain, and plagiarism. Learn how to cite web resources, find library and text resources on the web, and locate multimedia elements on the web, including images, audio, and video. This graphic represents intellectual property, or IP law, which are laws that cover things that aren't physical, like real estate or your automobile. So intellectual property would be things like patents, trademark registrations, trade dress, design patents, copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, right to publicity, and right to privacy. In the chart that you're looking at, you can see that each of these laws are grouped based on the governing bodies. So on the far left there, copyright is governed by the Library of Commerce and the Copyright Office. The group of four at the top there are governed by the Department of Commerce, Patent, and Trademark Office. So those first two groupings are at the federal level. And then the last grouping on the bottom right is at the state level. The trademark, trade secrets, your right to publicity, and your right to privacy. Understanding copyright. On a web page, intellectual property includes the images, videos, and text on the page, as well as the design of the page itself. Intellectual property, as a tangible expression of an idea, is protected just like other tangible forms of property, such as houses and cars. Intellectual property includes all creations of the human mind, as opposed to physical property like real estate and your automobile. Intellectual property rights include the protections afforded to individuals and companies by governments through governments' granting of copyrights and patents and through registration of trademarks and service marks. Each country has its own rules and laws governing intellectual property rights and protection. In the United States, intellectual property is protected through patents, trademarks, trade secrets, and copyrights. Copyright is the right of the person to make copies of his or her work. A copyright can protect a particular expression of a creative work in addition to the work itself. Copyrights are granted by a government to the author or creator of an original work who creates a tangible expression of that work or creation. Copyright protection exists whether the work is published or unpublished. The copyright is in effect for the length of the time specified in the copyright law and gives the author or creator the exclusive right to reproduce, adapt, distribute, publicly perform, publicly display, or sell that work. In the United States, under the 1976 Copyright Act, works created after 1977 are protected for the life of the author or the last surviving author in the case of a joint work with multiple authors, plus another 70 years. Works made for hire and anonymous or pseudonymous works are protected for 95 years from the date of publication or 120 years from the date of creation, whichever is earlier. The copyright holder can transfer, license, sell, donate, or leave the copyright to his or her heirs. Works created before 1978 are protected under the 1909 Copyright Act and have more complex and variable terms of copyright. Determining fair use. U.S. copyright law allows people to use portions of copyrighted works without obtaining permission from the copyright holder if that use is a fair use. The fair use of a copyright work includes copying it for the use in criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. Courts generally consider the following four factors when determining fair use: the purpose and character of the new work, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole, the effect of the use on the potential market or value of the copyrighted work. There is no hard and fast rule determining fair use. If you're unsure whether your use is indeed fair use, the safest course of action is to contact the copyright owner and ask for permission to use the work. One area in which fair case use disputes are prevalent is YouTube. Consider that any one video can include both original and copyrighted material. A video that includes even a small clip from a movie or a television show or part of a song written or performed by someone else can constitute copyright infringement. This means that the copyright owner can sue the person who created and posted the video. Works in the public domain. Once the term of the copyright has expired, the work moves into the public domain, which means that anyone is free to copy the work without requesting permission from the last copyright holder. Authors or creators can place their work into the public domain voluntarily at any time. For example, older literary works, such as A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, which was published in 1859, are in the public domain and may be reproduced freely. Songs or musical works published earlier than 1922, such as The Star-Spangled Banner, written by Francis Scott Key in 1814, are also in the public domain in the United States. Although sound recordings, like your favorite musical artist's recordings, are not in the public domain. In other words, if I had a band, we could legally record and sell the recording of us playing the Star-Spangled Banner, but you could not copy our recording and legally sell it to others. Understanding plagiarism. Failure to cite the source of material that you have used is called plagiarism. Plagiarism is a serious legal violation that can lead to a failing grade, being expelled from school, being fired from a job, or being subjected to a hefty fine or prosecution. Plagiarism can be as simple as including a sentence or two from someone else's work without using quotation marks or attribution, as blatant as duplicating substantial parts of someone else's work and claiming it as your own. More subtle, such as paraphrasing someone else's content without the proper citation of the source. Websites such as Turnitin are used to check a submitted paper to find how much of the paper is not original. Citing web sources. All works you reference in a report or a paper, whether they are protected by copyright, in the public domain, or considered fair use, need to be documented. To address this issue of documenting dynamic web pages, digital intellectual content such as online journals, articles, reports, and white papers are assigned a unique alphanumeric string of characters called a Digital Object Identifier, or DOI. The DOI identifies the content and provides a persistent link to its location or locations as long as the content exists somewhere on the Internet. The two most widely followed standards for academic research citations are the American Psychological Association, APA, and the Modern Language Association, MLA. Accessing text-based resources online. Many references, including dictionaries, thesauri, encyclopedias, atlases, almanacs, quotations, grammar checkers, rhyming dictionaries, and language translation sites are available online. Some require a subscription fee, but many free online resource tools exist. The web also includes sites that offer full text copies of works that are no longer protected by copyright. Libraries offer content, books, periodicals, journals, and so forth, in a wide variety of formats. An increasing number of books are available as ebooks. Libraries can subscribe to huge databases that offer a wealth of information. Other print resources, such as periodicals, scholarly journals, and government resources, have become available on the web. Web resources can remain current and easily accessible to their audiences. Digital versions of resources can include audio and video clips. Most libraries now provide online access to their collections and services. You can search the library catalog and reserve or hold books. Access articles from newspapers and magazines. search databases to which the library subscribes, access general reference resources. Many libraries also provide access to web-based books and videos, as well as make available e-books, e-journals, and digital audiobooks. Another way to access library information is through a virtual library, which is a website that provides online access to library information services. Some virtual libraries are also portal sites that link to a variety of library and reference sites on the web. The portal site can be general and provide access to a wide variety of websites, or it can be specialized and provide access to related sites. Periodical databases. Periodicals, like magazines, journals, and other articles related to almost any industry, field, or topic, can be found as online resources. Originally, they were available only in printed formats at libraries. Now thousands are available on the web. If you know what periodical you want to search, you could go directly to its website. If you're more interested in articles related to a particular topic, then you can use a periodical database to locate them. You can browse indexed articles by topic, or you can search for articles based on a keyword. There are also government sites which collect and create a wide variety of information and provide many services, from laws to tax codes to Supreme Court rulings. Much of this information is available on the web. You can go to local, state, and federal government agency sites to locate specific information. You can use a portal site to access any government-related information from a central place. USA.gov is a good example. It's the official web portal for the U.S. government, and it provides access to all official U.S. government services and information in one place. Multimedia on the web. Multimedia is anything you can see or hear, including text, pictures, audio, sound, videos, films, or animations. The use of multimedia elements on websites has, in many instances, improved the functionality and usefulness of the web. The web is also a great resource for users seeking specific multimedia such as graphics, photos, video, and music to use for their own purposes and entertainment. Accessing multimedia resources online. The Internet Archive's Wayback Machine provides researchers with a series of snapshots of web pages as they were at various points in history. You might also want to check out archive.org for access to many resources, whether it be text, music, audio, or video. When it comes to finding graphic images on the web, generally speaking, these images are commonly in one of three file formats: JPEG images for photographs, GIF images for drawings, and PNG images for more complex graphics. To find graphics on the web, you can use a search engine to locate images related to your search term. You can search stock photography sites. Stock images are professional photographs, line drawings, and other graphics that are available for purchase. And you can find photographs to use through photo sharing sites. You can also find audio files on the web. Audio refers to sounds of any type: instrumental music, songs with vocals, speeches, audiobooks, and sound effects. Most music is now available in the MP3 file format. Other audio might be in one of these formats: a WAV file, which is higher quality than MP3 format; a MIDI file, which records each element of the sound, including pitch, length, and volume, in a digital format; AAC, which is designed to be the successor of the MP3 format; or AIFF, which is used heavily by Apple; WMA, which is proprietary to the Microsoft system; OGG, which are Vorbis compressed audio files, and they're used for storing audio data and can include artist and track information as well as other metadata; and WebM, which is an open media file format designed for the web. You'll find audio on the web in a variety of places. Some artists and bands sell and distribute their music on their own. Many online stores sell digitized music, and digital music subscription services are available as well. Digital audiobooks are popular download items. You can purchase them directly from the publishers, from retailers, or on sites devoted to audiobooks. Some are in the public domain and have been recorded so that people can listen to them for free. Some are protected by copyright and must be purchased or used as part of a subscription service. And some libraries offer checkout, just like printed books, in their catalog. Some sites place restrictions on the number of copies that you can make of each song. A few sites restrict you from converting files into other formats, or they restrict the type of devices on which you're permitted to play the song. The restrictions are implemented in the files themselves using systems of encoding called digital rights management, or DRM. There's different online music vendors which use different DRM systems. Their files might not be compatible with each other or your audio player. Finding video files on the web. The term video refers to content that has a progression of visual images and can include audio. In streaming transmission, the web server sends the first part of the file to a web browser or a media player program, which decompresses and then plays the file. While the first part of the file plays, the server is sending the next segment of the file to the browser or the media player. Streaming transmission allows you to access large audio or video files in less time than the download then play procedure, because the streamed file begins playing before it's finished downloading. Video formats consist of AVI, MPG, ASF, MP4, MOV, and WMV. MOV is typically limited to Apple systems, and WMV typically limited to Microsoft systems. The others are open source formats. Videos are available in a variety of ways. Sites devoted to video distribution, such as YouTube and Hulu. Sites that provide stock video footage, such as iStock Video. Sites that allow users to video share, such as YouTube, through a search engine such as Google Videos or Bing Videos. To play video or audio files, the VLC player, developed by Videoland, is a free and very capable digital player. And I provided the URL for you on this slide. That's the end of this lecture. Until next time, enjoy searching for your resources. If you liked this video, please click the like button and leave us a comment down below. I also would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, click the notification bell so that you'll be notified when new videos are posted.